Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you our thoughts on the Lovevery box for 43, 44 and 45 months. This is the problem solver kit that I'm going to be discussing today. I'm going to give you some ideas of how we've been using it and how my kids have found all the different toys inside. Now, first up, I'm actually not giving this kit to a 43 to 45 month old child. I'm actually giving it to my 4-year-old son. But I can truly say that these 3-year-old kits are for 3, 4, 5-year-olds easily. They're really things that are going to grow with your child. So if you are slightly outside of the recommended age, I would really not let that put you off with this particular 3-year-old Lovevery boxes, because they are really, really good, even for the slightly older child. So I'm going to just go through some of the bits that are in the box, and hopefully I'll be able to insert some clips of my children playing with them. Apologies for the dog. That is my sausage dog, who is tiny but has a very large bark, and she's barking in the background, but I cannot stop it. She is just living her best life, so apologies. So yes, let's just dive straight in. I'm going to just pick the first thing that I can see, and this is the Liquid Colour Lab. So this is a little stand, and it comes with these see-through tubes, a bit like science kit, with coloured lids. There's coloured tabs in here, non-toxic coloured tabs, 2 droppers with really nice soft dropper tops, which are great for small hands, not too hard to use. And it comes with 2 reusable bamboo towels as well. And the idea with this Liquid Colour Lab is that you put the matching colours into your yellow, blue and red, and then you can mix up the secondary colours using your dropper. So you can get your child to select the yellow, pop it into the green one, and the blue, and pop it in. And obviously you take off the lids for that part. And then once you've created your colours, you can lay out your cloth and you can drop it on the different colours, and it creates beautiful like patchwork of colour. Really, really good fun. So my 4-year-old has loved this. Now his ability to mix colours is not fantastic, I'm not gonna lie, and he does love making brown, but apart from that, he loves this, like the action of squeezing in the different colours, the mixing of the tabs, just general water play with his age is just, you know, great fun. And then making the colours go onto the cloths is so fun for him. He's absolutely loved this. It's what I like about it personally as a parent is it doesn't take up too much space, which is good. I like the fact that these are reusable. You can pop them in the washing machine or dishwasher. It's got quite a good little storage thing on the top. Like all the Lovevery things, they're designed to, you know, work really beautifully and store wonderfully. So yeah, I just think this is a great little toy. Obviously you can just do water play, or you could take these outside and use them to collect little nature finds, or you could put a bug in there briefly, obviously because there's no air holes, and have a look at it. So I think this one has got lots of potential, and certainly as a colour lab it's fantastic, and yeah, Toby has really, really enjoyed this. Really cute little game. And like I sort of mentioned at the start of this video, this is something which is going to work with him as he gets a little bit older as well and starts to learn about colour mixing and secondary colours. He probably could do better with his colour matching if it's something we really learnt into, but at this moment in time he's just not showing much interest in that. So it's not something I've really pushed in our daily learning. But certainly I imagine next year, as he gets into his sort of school years, as he turns 5, I think he will really enjoy the colour mixing side of this and creating the beautiful patterns on the cloth. So yeah, really, really beautiful. And actually looking at this, you could also do this with paint and actually just mix paint and then do a painting, which would also be really fun. So yeah, a brilliant toy, really good, great fun, and definitely something I would have never purchased. But I'm so glad to own something like this. Now for my elder son, I'm going to do a separate video on how he's been using the box. He's using a box that's much lower for his age because he's got special needs. and I'm going to go into all that. However, he is 6 and he obviously would still love this. The droppers are really good for him to practice his little fine motor skills, and also the colour matching and stuff. So I feel like I'm going to get a lot of use out of this over the years, so I love this. I thought it was really fun actually that Lovevery put in a board game into this kit, and this is the Turtle Hatch game, and we have played this so many times. It comes with instructions, and also comes with this little sun that you piece together. I'll probably put in a picture so you can see. And there's this little collection of turtles that go at the top, and then you scoop in water basically, and it's a water-based board game. When I first opened up the box and I saw this, I have to admit, I did panic. I thought, oh my gosh, that is such a huge amount of plastic, and it's really bulky, and surely this is not going to entertain my child for more than 5 minutes. However, I was wrong. And the good thing is this is bioplastic. I think it's almost, maybe it's something like 50% or 60% bioplastic. So that is reassuring, first of all. But most importantly, my child does really like playing with this. Technically, you could use these little turtles in other sensory play or in small world play. But the game itself is so engaging, and I really like the fact that you get to piece together this little sun. And that works really well as a little small puzzle. It's just really well thought through, and if you're on the fence about this kit and worried that that's not going to work as a board game, I can tell you now, it is so fun, and the whole water element is so sensory. It's just a massive hit. And certainly we have quite a few of the Haber board games. We have First Orchard, and we also have a building game. And definitely this has been more popular than either of those games, and those are really renowned as being like incredible board games. So yeah, really beautiful game, and of course it teaches turn taking, and yeah, it's a lovely thing for 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. Really, really good. Now, of course, the boxes also come with a play guide, and in the play guide, it gives you an idea of why Lovevery have included all these items. So if we go into the turtle game, it says it teaches your child cooperation, turn taking, following rules, and intermittent waiting. So really, really interesting, and also losing and how a child processes that, and how to work together. So really, really handy to have this guide to give you ideas on what you might expect when you're playing with your child, and ways to make everything into a really great learning experience. So the most popular item in this kit, and probably the most played with item, is this lovely measuring tape. This is the Size It Up measuring tape, and it's got this lovely soft fob, rubberized soft fob, a button in the center to retract it. And it's really well designed, because actually this soft fob, if you retract it and it whacks up, it doesn't hurt you if it sort of slaps your hand or something. Both my children have always been obsessed with measuring tapes, and often they will steal their daddy's one. But obviously that's not the best thing, because they're quite sharp. So when this box arrived and Toby opened it up and he saw that there was a measuring tape in it, he was so excited. And he's used this for all sorts of things, like creating barriers. He's really into creating barriers and containing people and creating traps, which is hilarious. And he loves using this for that. So not so much measuring, but creating traps and things like that. But the great thing about this tape is actually it's color coded, as you can see. And I think this is color coded in feet, so your child can actually measure things in feet as opposed to small numbers, which might be a little bit difficult when your child is still small, unless they are a number genius, which my child is not yet. So yeah, this is really good fun. They can measure by the colors, and they can count the color blocks, which is a lot easier for little people to do. So in the guide it says it's properly shaped for 3-year-old hands. It lets your child experiment with concepts of measurement and length through colour and collaboration. Children love using real tools, which is definitely true. and they encourage you to measure each other and measure things in the house and take notes, which would be a great little science experiment. Next up is a puzzle, and this is the wooden Wobble puzzle. And of all the toys in the Lovevery boxes, I think it's fair to say I am obsessed with the Lovevery puzzles. We do so much play with the puzzles that we've received over the last year or so, and especially for my older son, they've been invaluable in his OT therapies. So when I received this new puzzle, I was so excited to see how my youngest was going to find it. This is a tricky puzzle. I should just say that straight out of the bat. It comes with these three pieces. So you've got your sort of semicircle and two pieces there, and all together it makes a circle. And then you've got these gorgeous coloured blocks. And the idea is that, I'll show you from this, it slots together to completely fill up the circle. The other thing it does is it creates a wobble game, so hopefully you can just about see that on my screen. So you can either have one piece each, and then you can have a race to see who can stack up as much pieces as possible without them falling, and then when they fall off, obviously you've lost and the other person has won, which is really clever because it ties into the turtle hatch game in that you're introducing board games, taking turns, losing, winning to your child. Or if you just want to do a game where you're both working together, you can do one piece and both take in turns and then stack up your little wobble.
Right? Yeah.
So straight away, I think that's just so clever. The fact that they've created this not only as a puzzle where you fill in this shape here, but also as a wobble puzzle where you can do a single one or a race. And that is why I love this brand so much, because everything that they do, they try and make it so versatile and multi-use. And also everything that they do is made beautifully, so it really works. The amount of times we've ended up being given a toy or something and it just doesn't work, or the pieces are too slippy and they don't actually stick in the stack or something like that, just drives me mad. But everything in the Lovevery kits are truly amazing. And I know I sound a bit of a broken record, but genuinely I am obsessed with this company. I am absolutely obsessed. If I could work for Lovevery, I probably would. I'm not even gonna lie. I am so obsessed with them. I love them so much. Everything that we've had from them has just been so exquisite, and you know I'm such a toy snob. Like, I really like good quality toys, and these have just been so good and so clever. And then there's another thread to them as well that I love, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So when I introduced this puzzle to my 4-year-old, he was totally stumped. He found this so difficult and he got so frustrated. And actually, in fairness, if you put this together as a circle and you try and complete it, it's really hard. I would say it's like a 12-year-old puzzle almost. I was struggling to do it. So what I would recommend is if you had this puzzle for your 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, whatever age, I would encourage you to keep this box and lay it out and let your child look at the pattern on the box and then copy the pattern and place the pieces that way, initially at least. This is still great practice to be able to look at a picture like this and basically follow the layout in a physical 3D way. It's still a fantastic skill to learn, and really great for 3-year-old to be able to do. And my 4-year-old is just about able to do that, and he loves it, and it makes him feel like he's challenged. But if he gets stuck, I can just show him the shapes and we can match up the shapes and then place them on. So we have been using this in a different way. We haven't used it just as a standalone puzzle, but almost just copying the pattern from 2D to 3D, and that's been brilliant. So I highly recommend that you do it that way if your child is super frustrated. And in fairness, I think they will be, because this is a really hard puzzle. Like I said, I almost think this is like a teenage level puzzle. but on the flip side, I think it's totally well placed in this box. If I could give Lovevery a suggestion, it would be that instead of just the box, they actually gave you coloured solid cardboard templates like this, and they gave you a few different ways that you could complete the puzzle, and maybe even like a black and white one so there's no colours to make it harder. And then as you graduate up in age, you can then complete it without those pieces to help you. And I think that would be a real advantage with this puzzle. But I think the fact that you can use it as a wobble game really just makes this so great. And the fact that I can pull this out when he's like 10 and he's going to find this really good fun putting it together. So yes, I really like the wooden wobble puzzle. But yeah, it's definitely a tricky one. So moving on to the book that comes in the box. This book, I was so happy to see this in this box, and it's so interesting because I've not seen anything like this. It's Uncle Rob's Pizza Party, can't even talk, and this is a story of the founder, her brother, who's called Rob, and he lives in a home. He's got special needs and disabilities, and they get together for like a family pizza party, and the founder, I can't remember her name, so apologies, the founder's daughter Bea has all these questions, and she's having to interact with this like different way of behaving, and it's really fantastic, and all the pictures are real, and you know, Rob actually has a disability, so like we're seeing people with real disabilities and his friends. Now this almost makes me want to cry. Like, there are so few things like this out there that really show people with genuine disabilities, and you know, not just tucked away from society, but actually shown, and like children can see people like this from a young age and realize like these are valid human beings. And you know, yes, it could be scary as a young person interacting with someone like this, but to understand and realize that their questions are completely okay and welcome, instead of just being like, oh shh, don't say anything. And this book really encourages that, encourages like healthy communication between the parent and the child, and also you can have these healthy relationships with people with disabilities, and you might feel scared, but that's okay, and you can work through it. So brilliant. And this is where Lovevery just gets my 100% vote, because where else do you see things like this? I have seen some illustrated books, but actually I would say I've never seen a book which shows that interaction between a disabled adult and a child, and certainly not in actual pictures like this, photographs. So really incredible. And as someone who, I have a huge amount of my life is in this bubble of special needs, and interacting with other people with special needs, and I love doing charity things here at the farm. It's so close to my heart, basically, is what I'm saying, that this just, yes, it makes me so happy. Not enough things like that in the world, and I just think the founder is absolutely amazing. So yes, good book for a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old. So good, so well done. So moving on to the last item in this box. This is another fantastic edition, and funnily enough, not something I've used a huge amount of times at the moment, but something we'll use a lot when my youngest actually starts school, which he's going to be doing in September at his own request. So yeah, that's a whole different kettle of fish. I'm very nervous about that because I thought I would be homeschooling him, but he wants to go to school so badly, and I've always said that I will be child-led, so here we go. So in this lovely bag that comes with a kit, beautiful organic printed tote, this is the maths bars and number tiles inspired by Montessori and number sense nature counters. I'm just reading off the sheet if you're wondering. And what that looks like are these beautiful wooden what are they called, bars, with little coloured coded holes, and there's 10 of them in this kit, so I'll take out some of them so you can see. So you can see they've all got different colours. I'm not entirely sure if these are the same colours as Numicon, but they could very well be, so I should have checked that, apologies. And then there's also, as part of that, the matching little number tiles that go with it, so like a 6, actually I think that's 9, a 9 and a 4, so you can match those up. And then on top of it are all these incredible nature counters. So there's another number tile. So then we have these guys. So they're really beautiful, like rubbery textured counters. Really cute. They're all like forest themed. So you have bunnies, bears, flowers, squirrel, owl, bird, and they all match up with the different colours. So for example, this sort of turquoisey colour, we have, oops, the birds. So the birds will fit in, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there'll be 5 of these little birds in your kit. I'm not going to rummage for the extra 2. And then of course there'll also be the matching number tile. I don't know why that's falling out. They do sit in really well, don't worry. I'm just super clumsy today. And then there's the matching number tile that goes with it. So obviously this kit's going to be great if you have a child learning maths. I'm probably should have researched this before I did this video, but I'm pretty sure that this concept of the number bars, the math bars, and these little tiles and the counters is something that they do in Montessori. I mean, even Lovevery mentioned Montessori, so I'm sure this is something that is quite common in the way that they teach Montessori. It's very visual, as you can see, and there's just so many different ways of playing with this, as you can imagine. I mean, when you start off, you could just create a little, you know, match these up in terms of size and create like a little stepped ladder effect. You can match up the number to the tiles. You can obviously match the counters to the correct colour, which is a good place to start if your child has no idea about counting and maths. You can just get them to match the colours and they'll be getting exposure to maths by just doing that. You can put these into a sensory bin and have that as part of the game where they have to go find the counter and pop it in. And then of course you could use these to actually do addition and subtraction. You could do little games with these little pieces, like there's 2 squirrels in the forest, and a flower, and a bear comes along and eats the flower. How many flowers are there? There's so many different ways of using this. And also it's fair to say that these are cute little puppets because they are hollow, so you can do little puppet plays if you have a smaller person in the house. So really fantastic. And there's little trees. There's just so much to this kit. It is huge. And like, yeah, here's another example of a math bar. And actually the kit does come with a sheet, a fold out sheet, that shows you different ways of playing with this. And it gives you ideas on how to introduce it and use it, which is really, really handy. I'll just have a quick look through this to see if I've missed anything out. Let's have a look. So yeah, here we go. So there is quite a few pages on this actually. So it says comparing numbers visually. One way children learn the fundamentals of math is by using manipulatives, concrete objects that represent numbers, shapes or concepts. The math bars and number tiles develop your child's number sense by providing visual quantities to count, line up and compare. So you can use words like more, less, most, least, first and last to build your child's maths vocabulary, compare lengths of different bars, and they can solve the puzzle by lining up the bars into a staircase rather than counting. Yeah, so just, I mean, it's endless. There's just endless ideas in there, so I'm not going to read them all out. But that is our beautiful problem solver kit. And as you can see, it comes with so much beautiful items in the kit. Like, there's just so many incredible things in this. I also love, I didn't mention this, I also love the fact that these are quite grappity. So if you know Grappat, they're the Spanish company that do lovely loose parts in wood, and Toby, my youngest, loves those and he plays with them all the time. And these are a lovely kind of loose parts as well. Like, you could just have these in small world play, and I really like that. I like the fact these are so open-ended. My youngest isn't actually that keen on maths. We do a lot of counting from 1 to 10 and, you know, taking these small parts and counting them, but it's not something he's like mad about, so it's something I have to encourage him. So I can really see this growing with him as he gets older as well. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a great piece of toolkit, a great tool in our kit, having this, and such a clever idea. I just absolutely love it. So this is the beautiful problem solver kit. I hope you found this interesting. Again, like I said, this is actually for 3-year-olds. 43, 44, 45 months is the recommended age. However, I'm using it with a 4 and a third year old, and he loves it. So I do think most of these toys would work really well for like 3, 4, 5 is probably what I would say, except for the puzzle, which would work well for all ages, including my age. And yeah, we just love it. The measuring tape, I mean, we're going to get loads of use out of that, measuring things. He can have that for as long as he lives. I mean, the measuring tape is always useful, and I like the fact it's a soft one, so you could use it to measure around your waist or whatever. If he's going to make any clothes or anything, that'd be super useful. The book, again, I mean, it's just such an important topic. I think, again, he's going to have this for a while, especially because special needs and disabilities is such a huge part of our lives. This is really, really great for him because it answers a lot of his questions. Like I mentioned, the puzzle we're going to be keeping around for a long, long time, and these math bars and counters and number tiles are going to be great for his first year of school, where they're going to be doing lots of adding and subtracting. The turtle hatch game, again, I can imagine us playing with that for a long time. I would probably say the best age for that's going to be 3, 4, 5, top of my head, I think. And then this colour lab, again, I can imagine this lasting for quite a long time in this household. And we're going to get great play with this through the next few years. So yeah, a really good investment, this kit. I can just, yeah, it's going to have a good longevity. And I do think it's interesting with the Lovevery kits, once you hit the 3-year-old age group, the kits definitely are going to last a lot longer than the recommended age groups. And in fairness, even the slightly younger kits, there are items within each kit which do have quite good longevity. But this kit in particular is definitely for like, you know, you could get 3 years of use out of this kit for sure. In exciting news, if you're in the US, I have noticed that Lovevery have now launched 4-year-old kits, and I had a good look on their website, on the US website that is, and they are amazing. I was so excited. I was like, oh, I wish they would launch them over here. And I'm sure they will eventually. I don't know, I haven't heard anything, but fingers crossed they do launch the 4-year-old kits over here, because I only have 1 kit left for my youngest. I have the Analyst, which is the last in the 3-year-old group, which looks great fun as well, and hopefully I'll get a chance to review that for you. If you're interested in the other boxes, I have reviewed quite a lot of the boxes, so you can check them out on this channel. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was useful, and I will see you again in another video soon. Bye!